LA is looking for the right opportunity in the fight against climate change. This week, Mayor Eric Garcetti announced the creation of a new online portal to help cities get competitive prices on EV fleets and charging stations. The city also greenlit a fleet of electric scooters and is moving ahead with California's plan to get 100% renewable energy by 2045. We sat down with Mayor Garcetti for an exclusive interview at the Global Climate Action Summit here in San Francisco. Mayor Garcetti, thank you so much for joining us.
Such a pleasure.
Great to have you here. So I want to start by talking about what we're here to talk about today. You know, scientists warn that even if everybody fulfills the obligations they committed to in Paris, that we won't be able to stave off climate change. So what can a city like LA really do?
Well, we have to do everything. It's not an abstract problem to us. We have firefighters in Southern California who have died in historic fires caused by a historic drought. Mayor Sylvester Turner in Houston, my dear friend, is trying to rebuild a city. Mayors have to do everything, whether it's buildings, transportation, energy generation, and also enlist this is a cause for all people, not just for governments or for companies, but for every human being. And I feel a lot of excitement being here, actually. I know the problem has never been worse, but I think the excitement, the ease, the speed, and the cheapness of doing the solutions have never been this good.
What are some of the boldest commitments you're willing to make? I mean, would you support a halt on new oil wells in California?
Well, the boldest commitment is to be carbon neutral, which we've done in our city 2050. Now the governor has followed. There's no question we have to get not only coal-free, as we made a commitment in Los Angeles, but carbon-free. But we have to completely change the way we move around. And we have oil wells. The third largest oil field in America is underneath Los Angeles. It's the only one with a city above it. And we have people who are dying of respiratory diseases, who have asthma. It's absolutely not the right place to be drilling, and we're looking at how we can shut those down in an urban environment where there's a huge health impact, especially in communities of color. But the more exciting piece is how do you generate jobs around the economy that will be a green and carbon neutral economy? In LA, we've 30,000 new jobs in the last 5 years since I've been mayor in the green sector. That's more than all the coal jobs we've lost and 60% of the remaining coal jobs in America. So whether it's oil and gas and Sylvester Turner doing that in Houston to move away to sustainable energy, or whether it's in LA where we really were built on oil, there's no question that's a chapter of the past, and now it's time to move forward.
I want to talk about scooters. We've seen Santa Monica come up with some fairly permissive regulation, whereas San Francisco has cracked down. In LA, they've been sent cease and desist letters, these scooter companies, and you see video of scooters on fire in the ocean. Who's going to be on the right side of history here?
I think they're great, but we have to find out the safest way and the best way to regulate them coming in. I'm the kind of mayor who doesn't say no, but who also says you don't know all the answers just because you're coming in with a disruptive technology. So we have an agreement right now. There's about 15,000 of them in the city of LA, more than anywhere else in the world. And we want to figure out a way to make this work because it does take people out of cars. But the emergency room visits, people who are on the streets in a very unsafe way, we have to make sure that people don't die from these or have intense injuries. But I love that Bird is based in Los Angeles, that we have Uber and Lyft and others now looking at joining that space, Lime. To me, it's really exciting. And if the same pace continues, there will be more electric scooter rides in a year and a half than we have Uber rides in Los Angeles.
Everybody wants to know about your presidential ambitions. You've been on the road, you've been to Ohio, Iowa, New Hampshire. Where's your head at right now?
Well, my presidential ambitions run through 2018, not personally, but I think for all of us. If we don't have a House that provides a balance of power, who cares about 2020? There won't be a cavalry coming. So I'm spending all my days raising money for our party, the state parties, and for great, talented candidates right now. After that's done and hopefully the House is taken back, I'll take a couple months, make a final decision. And I think mayors really do have something unique to add to this conversation because we're dealing with practical problems. Washington has done one thing to unite us. It's not red and blue, it's not urban, rural, coastal, and heartland. It's really Washington and the rest of us, those of us who deal with real problems and they who don't in Washington.
So when are we going to see a decision from you about 2020?
Probably a couple months after the November elections.
All right.
One way or the other. But even if I don't run, I hope other mayors do, and I will very much be involved in 2020 because we got to get rid of this guy.